Hello, my name is Cecilia Scorza. I am an astronomer working at the Faculty of Physics of the Ludwig-Maximilian University in Munich, Germany. Today, I would like to present the Pale Blue Dot program, Looking Back at Home, which focuses on astronomy for global learning. To present our approach, I would like to tell a story. We need to go back to the 70s, at a time where the NASA launched two space probes, Voyager 1 and 2, with the aim of exploring the giant planets of the solar system. Since then, we really have nice pictures, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But let's go back. At that time where Voyager 1 reached Saturn and started to leave the plane of the solar system, one of the astronomers of the NASA team made a request that was to turn back the camera of Voyager 1 and to take a picture of the Earth. By that time, the NASA team did not support his request because it was not scientifically relevant enough. But he waited 2 years, and his name was Carl Sagan. And here you see the picture taken from Voyager 1 from a distance of 6 billion kilometers away from the Earth. While contemplating this pale blue dot, Carl Sagan stated, "Look again at that dot. That's here, that's home. It underscores our responsibility to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known." This was not the last time that astronomers look back home. Nowadays, our colleagues looking for life elsewhere, looking for exoplanets around other stars, they keep on looking back home and comparing the Earth with the exoplanets that they found out there. They have identified some clear criteria for the conditions of life. The first one is that the planet should be located in the habitable zone, which is the zone with liquid water, and which is the case of our planet. The astrobiologists, they say that there are 3 ingredients of life: an energy source, in our case, the sun, carbon compounds, and water in liquid form. However, this picture is highly simplified because we know that many random events seem to have played a role in shaping the habitability of the Earth. It suffered a collision with Theia, another protoplanet, out of which the moon was formed. The moon slowed down the rotation velocity of the Earth and stabilized its rotation axis. This had consequences for a mild climate afterwards, and part of Theia sunk in the middle of the Earth and generated a powerful magnetic field, which really protects us from solar wind and cosmic rays. The other aspect is that when the Earth, which was very hot, cooled down, it was dry, or nearly dry. Where did this water come from that we see today covering 3/4 of the surface? It came from the asteroids, because an isotope analysis of the water of comets, of the giant planets and asteroids indicates that the deuterium to hydrogen ratio of the water of the asteroids and the Earth are identical. So we can really resume that the habitability of the Earth has not only to do with the habitable zone and having carbon compounds, but with its mass, because then you have a gravitational field strong enough to keep the atmosphere and the water on its surface, a mild rotation, a moderate greenhouse effect, which is crucial. Without the atmosphere, the Earth would have a temperature of minus 18 degrees, and the Earth has a magnetic field, as I told you, and it has plate tectonics, which played a very important role in mixing the chemistry for life. Now, this beautiful planet is swarming because of us. And today, we can really state that global warming is the greatest challenge facing humanity in this century. And also today, millions of children are struggling, looking for water or surviving floods. So we want to empower them. We want them to develop skills in order to make of their places, their home places, a better place to live and to cope with adaptation, because we have to adapt to what's coming. This is the reason why we launched this program, Pale Blue Dot, and it links knowledge about our Earth with climate protection. And the target audience are children of ages 5 to 10, at the ages where the value system is still forming. This program will be a flagship program of the Office of Astronomy for Development, and it is linked directly to universal awareness, to the UNAWE program that we launched 15 years ago. Our objectives are to promote global citizenship and solidarity, to raise awareness about our fragile planet and climate change, and to engage children in STEM subjects and empower them for climate mitigation and, as I said, adaptation. We will be targeting several of the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, especially quality education, climate action, and peace building. Our team, that's me, Christina and Julia, two young astronomers working with me at the LMU in Munich, and the evaluation program is currently being developed by Professor Sabina Pauen at the University of Heidelberg. Until now, we have run several pilot programs in Germany with the support of the Bayerische Sparkasse Foundation, and in Armenia, Ethiopia, and very soon in South Africa with seed funding from UNAWE, the E-Road, and with support of the Office of Astronomy for Education. Our program has 3 dimensions. The cognitive one, and you link it immediately to scientific thinking, to critical thinking about local, national, and global issues. In this dimension, children discover the interconnections and the interdependencies of their homes, of their countries, and the whole map of the world. The social emotional dimension has to do with the feeling of belonging to the humankind family and with the feeling of cooperation. And the behavior has more to do with the decision of making a change, of compromising yourself for a better world. So we are educating the world citizens of tomorrow, and therefore we need to transform the schools. In which way? Well, for global learning, participatory activities are very, very important. Small group work, space for questions, pupils-led learning discussions, real-life examples, lots of visual resources, and of course, many, many experiments, because there the children have the chance to develop scientific and critical thinking. Our program has 4 modules: a wonderful planet as seen from space, Module 2, the formation of the Earth and of life on it, Module 3, global warming, and Module 4, climate action and solidarity. So today I only have time to show you some of the contents. When we start the program, the children receive from us, from the local astronomers, a box full of invitations and badges to wear, and in such a way that the whole team, the teachers and the children, turn into a research team, which has as a mission to discover the nature of this pale blue dot as seen on the invitation cards. And I will give you some examples of our wonderful planet, a pilot project that we run on the Bauhausplatz school in Munich, having 70% immigrant children. And you see the small groups activities and children observing the surface of the moon, or looking to match the correct moon model with the globe, different globes. And this is very important in order to develop scientific and abstract thinking. And it's very useful that they get in touch with scale models at these stages. After that, we made some experiments. We pump out air out of a chamber, and we ask ourselves what would happen to an astronaut that forgets to wear his suit. And well, it will inflate, he will inflate, or she will inflate. And we then recreate the messages of the astronauts while contemplating the Earth from the moon. Now I know why I'm here, not for a closer look at the moon, but to look back at our home, the Earth. This is the feelings and thoughts of Alfred Warden. And also with other scale models, the children reproduce the experience of hiding behind their thumbs the whole Earth as seen from the moon. What makes the Earth habitable? That is a very important question. And we compare the Earth with the other planets. In former times, we used to hear from the children, oh, my favorite planet is Jupiter, or my favorite planet is Mars. When you run the Pale Blue Dot program, all children are really convinced that the best place and the very lovely planet is the Earth. So they take some pictures along the planets with their space probes, with Voyager 1, click, click, click. And at the end, they take a very nice picture, and we show them this picture, and they find a blue dot in the same way that Carl Sagan did. So this is the end of the first part of the mission. And the message is the Earth is a very, very special place. So we have developed some nice charts where we compare throughout the Earth with the other solar planets. And here you see the pilot project run in Armenia by our colleague Amini Patatanian. So I can only describe that we have a lot of the activities linked to the model tool, showing the kids how the Earth form, and the messages are always the same. The Earth resources are limited. We need to share them. That's the case of water. Or model 3, global warming, what's happening. We have designed several experiments with the children in a way that the children discover the role of white surfaces on the Earth and observe the melting of water upon land and on the sea. And also they get to know about the consequences of global warming. And the message is, it is human-made and we have to stop the CO2 emissions. In model 4, we concentrate on action, what to do, planting trees, and the development of alternative or regenerative energy sources, which is really a source of development of the infrastructure, for instance, for Africa. And you see here a publication of benefits of green economy transformation in sub-Saharan Africa. Well, at the end, we will have a box with all these materials inside. And for the teachers, we have a handbook and many lovely posters or PowerPoint presentations to introduce the topics. And for the children, we have a booklet with activities and a backpack full of some of the models that they build at the school. And the purpose is that they go home and they tell and share with the symbols and the parents what they have learned. So I will finish with this nice picture of the pilot project of Armenia. I thank you very much. And well, if you want to join us, please write me an email. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Keep safe and well.